Such a pleasure and honor to be here with you all. Very humbling to be standing amongst you as a Congressman-elect representing New York 16th District. You know, our first evening here, Majority Leader Steny Hoyer took us on a tour of the Capitol and took us into what we often refer to as the People's House. But I couldn't help but feel a certain sense of anger and frustration and guilt because I didn't feel the People's House was representative of the indigenous people of this country. I didn't feel the People's House really captured how African slaves built this country with their hands for 244 years and haven't earned a dime as a result of that work. The People's House didn't capture that for me. And as I stand here amongst you and we talk about the need for climate justice and pushing back against environmental racism, I dream, along with my sisters and my new friends and family members in Congress, I dream of the rebirth of America. And I dream of a country that we are going to rebuild together, that is representative of all of us and all of the people of this country, not just white men at the top harnessing and exercising power and continuing to fund the fossil fuel industry, which is literally destroying the planet and killing us. I dream of a world, and I can't wait to get to work in building a country and building a planet that really represents all of us and works for all of us. So in my district in New York 16, it's a majority-minority district. And part of that district represents the Bronx, along with my sister, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. And if you live in the Bronx, you are 3 times more likely to die of asthma than anywhere else in the country. My district is also surrounded by water. We have the Henry Hudson on one side and the Long Island Sound on another. And right now in Yonkers, which is part of my district, we have raw sewage leaking into the Henry Hudson on a daily basis. On the other side of the district in Mount Vernon, we have raw sewage leaking in to the Long Island Sound, which is going upstream into AOC's district. So this is an urgent matter that we have to deal with. We are living in a climate catastrophe. It is impacting my district like districts across the country. And I want to add this very important point. After World War II, after the Great Depression, we implemented something called the New Deal. And the New Deal built not just the white middle class, but it built white wealth in this country. $120 billion invested over a 30-year period to build white wealth. 98% of those loans went to white people. African Americans were excluded. The Latino communities were excluded. Indigenous communities were excluded. Joe Biden has pledged a $2 trillion investment in environmental justice. And 40% of that has been pledged to districts like mine across the country. So that 40% has to be a part of a Green New Deal that rebuilds black and brown communities across this country. In parts of my district, we have pockets where the poverty rate is as high as 30%. We need jobs, we need infrastructure, and we need those jobs to go to black and brown communities. Black and brown communities organize across the country to make sure Joe Biden won the White House. And he did that. But now it's time for payback. And now it's time to make sure that we invest the resources necessary to rebuild our nation in a way that is representative of all of us, so we can truly have the People's House. Thank you so much. God bless you all.